You know, when you realize that so much of your fear of being alone isn't actually about loneliness, it's about embarrassment, it's about being seen by yourself, doing things by yourself, sitting alone with your own thoughts. And learning to be alone has honestly changed my life. And I think if you've pressed on this video, then it will change yours too. But hello and welcome. I am Isabel, and on my channel I like to talk about creativity and natural living, poetry and living intentionally. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that is very dear to my heart. It's been a huge part of my growth recently, and it's learning to be comfortable with being alone. And not in like a dramatic I hate everyone kind of way, but in sort of a calm and grounded way where solitude feels like a gift and not a punishment. So for a long time, I actually hated being alone. And I guess it wasn't me hating the solitude, but I didn't really know how to navigate it. I would fill my days with events and seeing a friend after a friend, and I kind of built my life around other people. And when I was finally by myself, I would fill it with noise. So I just filled my life with music or Netflix shows, just anything to fill the background with noise. Then I started to realize something, that I wasn't just avoiding people, I was avoiding myself. And the fear wasn't loneliness, it was embarrassment. Embarrassment about sitting alone somewhere, about what other people might be thinking about me, like what it might mean to people. Which, when you really think about it, is ridiculous because people really don't care that much, actually. And we should all be able to spend time with ourselves without thinking it's a negative thing. But for me, that took a lot of practice. So one of the biggest things that stopped me was fear. Whether that was emotional fear or practical fear. I am a big nature person and I love green spaces and nature walks. But I had all of these fears surrounded by doing all of that alone. And I do know that there are actual real dangers, especially as women going into natural spaces. And these are really important things to consider. So I kind of had to find a balance. So instead of giving up on the things I wanted to do, I made sure that I was taking extra safe precautions. So I would share my location with someone that I trusted. I would go during the day. I would go on popular trails that have a lot of people that go on them. And it actually allowed me to be able to do the things that I wanted without fear holding me back. And I realized you really cannot live your life waiting for someone to become available to do something with you. You have to really decide, am I going to wait? Or am I going to live? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. Something else that massively helped me was really learning to be present. Because technically you can be alone, but not be with yourself. Like you can go on a walk down the street and just have music in your ears and just be listening to that. You can sit in a cafe and just be scrolling on your phone. You can eat while watching something. And all of those things are fine, but doing them in excess kind of made me realize I'm never truly with myself. So I started to make little changes, which was actually brought on by the fact that I forgot my headphones when I was on a walk, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck with myself. But after a while, I started to make an intentional choice to leave my headphones at home, or I would eat without watching a show. It would just be me and the food. At first, it was quite uncomfortable, but I think after a while, I became kind of hyper conscious of every sound, every feeling, and it started to become grounding. It's kind of like, oh, like this is what it actually feels like to be here right now in this moment. And that in itself brought stillness and peace. So yeah, next time you're eating, put down the TV show, go on a walk and leave your headphones at home. Listen to yourself, listen to your thoughts, listen to what's actually happening around you. And if you see yourself living in a future where you do have lots of community, then something that really grounds me is the fact that being alone is a temporary thing. So if you have a desire for long-term community, whether that's family or just being surrounded by people, that will come. So much of our lives are surrounded by roommates, co-workers, children, friends, spouses, and this period of time that we have is really one of the only times in our lives that we will be with ourselves. So the majority of our life will be spent around others, and this time that we have is quite rare. And that kind of changed how I saw it. Instead of seeing it as something to survive, it was something to use. So I guess this is my peak selfish time in the best way possible. I can do whatever I want with my time. I can learn new things. I can explore who I am. It's not about isolation. It's very much about freedom. So bouncing off of that, I began to invest in myself, spending money on myself, also time, energy, care, doing things slower with more intentionality, not rushing for anybody else, but just to be present and experience things in their fullness because I have the space to be able to do that. And then I started asking myself, what does present me need and what does future me need? What routines and habits can I maintain that will be able to make life easier for me in the future? So I take myself out, I read, I do small creative projects, things that I enjoy just for myself, like painting, because this time isn't just about being alone, but it's preparing myself for the kind of life that I want to live. And when you invest in yourself in this way, you're able to build trust within yourself, and that relationship is extremely important because really you exist as a full person and you don't necessarily need other people to make you feel full. Other people are an addition to your already full being. But yeah, learning to be alone has been one of the most transformative things that I've done for myself, and it's definitely a rocky journey. Every day is not easy, but I honestly enjoy it so much. Like, I prefer my own company over other people most of the time. It's very peaceful. I don't feel the same rush to escape my company. In fact, I quite love it. And I think that's one of the most powerful things you can give yourself, to not just tolerate your own presence, but to enjoy and revel in it. So thank you for watching. I hope it helped you, or at least help you think. And if you're in that season of solitude, it doesn't mean that you're failing. In fact, you're probably growing. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.